Hey guys, I'm so sorry, but I totally forgot to film an intro. Come on along and check out how we make this third and final decorative mason jar, mason jar type to go with our first two, our glitter and our twine. Here we go! Originally, I was going to do this all with large mason jars, but then I had this old diced pimento jar, so I decided to do the third one using this. It's going to give us a little bit of difference in variety of size. Then we still have the Mod Podge, we still have our glitter. I guess we have our glitter again. We have our sponge paintbrush, some little leaves, they're mini ones. I got them at Hobby Lobby, all their fall stuff was half off. And in this one I'll be using the painter's tape again. So I have the paper from Hobby Lobby that they use to wrap the mason jars in, and I'm just using that to keep the table covered. I'm going to section off part of the jar to keep part of it clean and part of it to continue with the first part of our project. I like to get this as even as possible, so I always try and make sure my ends meet up where I want to end the painter's tape at. And painter's tape is usually thin enough you can rip it. I pressed the rest of it up and around so it wasn't sticking out, and then around the bottom I pressed it one more time to try and get all the air bubbles out so nothing snuck in under the tape. So here's how it looks to start. I'm going to take the Mod Podge. This time I'm just going to dip my sponge brush right in, and I'm always going to come down off of the painter's tape as I put the Mod Podge on, just to keep it from getting underneath the line that we've sectioned off. I'm doing the whole jar. I'm going around the entire part that I've sectioned off before we start our next step. Once I have Mod Podge all over, I go ahead and grab my paper plate and sprinkle on the glitter. This is the same glitter we used for the glitter mason jar for part one of our decor, fall decor. I'm tapping it on the plate just to make sure I get all the glue covered, and then I sprinkle a little extra glitter on the plate and I roll it in it just to make sure all the Mod Podge places are covered in glue and give it that extra shine. This next part is the part I'm most skeptical about and not sure if it's going to work out quite how I want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fake leaves and we're going to Mod Podge them to this part that doesn't have any of the glitter or anything, the clean part of the glass still. But you have to put Mod Podge all over in order for them to stay. So let's give it a shot. I'm sure it'll turn out looking cool, but come on along and we'll see. So you're going to have to put Mod Podge on the actual glass so that it will stick to the glass, and I'm going to have some of these overlapping into the glitter. So we'll take and put it where you want it, and then you need to go over with Mod Podge again. Oh, and this is what I was afraid of. So you're going to need to use quite a bit for it to stick on there, it looks like. We'll keep playing with it and try and get this to work. Through this process, I found it worked a little bit better if I would put the Mod Podge on, and then I'd hold the leaf on for just a little bit and let it kind of soak into it, and then go over the top with the Mod Podge again. It just seemed to help it stick a little bit better, help it flatten, and it helped it not lift up quite as much. So here you can see that I'm holding it in place, letting the Mod Podge seep in, soak in a little bit, and then after I hold it there for a little while and it's kind of gotten its place, then I'll go over with the Mod Podge on the top. It doesn't completely keep it in place, but it did help. And here's the jar. It has Mod Podge on the leaves. It still needs to dry, but there's a glance at it with all the leaves on. Alright, so here is the finished piece. After a couple times of Mod Podge, I went ahead and took some super glue and just put it on the very edge of some of the tips and then just held it down and let it dry. If you do that part, just make sure that you get it only on the inside, otherwise you're going to have a cloudy fingerprint wherever you were holding down at. But I don't want all the edges down because I just wanted to have a little bit more of a natural feel, natural rustic feel, I guess would be the right word. So I have some glitter that I let get onto the leaves that I just kind of pulled up once the Mod Podge was on, just to kind of spread the glitter around and incorporate it a little bit more. You can also do it on a bigger jar and just have bigger leaves or more leaves if you'd like. And just don't place the leaves too evenly. You want them all spread out like that. Just kind of hit and miss everywhere so you hit a little bit of everything. All right, let me know what you guys think. I really love this. Now I'll show you a couple different options of how to incorporate all three of the jars together. Here's one option to do with the candle holders, all three of them together. Just put a little tea light in each one, and you can set them together or separate with pumpkins and leaves around them, bringing it all into the fall season and letting them each have their own special glow. With the candles and the pumpkin or whatever fall decor you decide to put with the candles in jars, it'd make a cute little table piece, or you could even put it on a shelf or like a fireplace mantle, anything like that, really show it off together.